The United States and China are locked in a bitter trade dispute. In recent months, we've seen a dramatic escalation in tariff hikes, reminiscent of the trade war that gripped the global economy just a few years ago. On April 2, 2025, the United States raised tariffs on a wide range of Chinese goods, pushing rates past 100%. In response, Beijing retaliated with counter-tariffs on U.S. imports. This tit-for-tat exchange only intensified further on April 9. The United States increased tariffs on Chinese goods to a staggering 125%, impacting billions of dollars worth of products. China responded in kind, raising tariffs on U.S. goods to 84%. These actions have sent shockwaves through the global economy, raising fears of a protracted trade war between the world's two largest economies. The United States argues that its actions are a response to what it calls China's unfair trade practices, including intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer. Washington's goal is to revive American manufacturing and protect domestic industries from what it perceives as unfair competition. China, however, sees these U.S. tariffs as economic bullying and protectionism. Beijing insists that it adheres to international trade rules and accuses Washington of undermining the global trading system. This escalation of tariffs marks a significant setback in U.S.-China relations and casts a shadow over the future of global trade. The immediate consequences of these tariff hikes are already being felt across the global economy. Stock markets around the world have reacted nervously, with major indices experiencing sharp declines. The S&P 500, a key barometer of U.S. stock market health, has entered bear market territory, plummeting by more than 20% from its recent peak. Asian markets have been hit hard as well, with the Kospi in South Korea, the Shanghai Composite in China, and the Hang Seng in Hong Kong, all experiencing significant losses. These market declines reflect growing investor anxiety about the potential for a full-blown trade war between the United States and China. Beyond the stock market, there are growing concerns that these tariffs will disrupt global trade flows and supply chains. The United States imported over $438 billion worth of goods from China in 2024, while exporting $143.5 billion to China. These tariffs directly impact a significant volume of trade, potentially leading to higher prices for businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has warned that these tariffs could shave off 0.5% from global GDP growth in the coming year. The United States and China appear to be pursuing very different economic strategies in response to the escalating trade tensions. The United States, under the current administration, remains focused on its America First agenda, aiming to reduce its trade deficit and revitalize domestic manufacturing. The administration believes that tariffs are a necessary tool to achieve these objectives, even if they cause some short-term economic pain. There's a strong emphasis on bringing manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. and reducing reliance on Chinese imports. China, on the other hand, is concentrating on mitigating the impact of U.S. tariffs, while also trying to reduce its dependence on the U.S. market. Beijing has announced a series of domestic stimulus measures including interest rate cuts, increased lending to local governments, and financial support for export-oriented businesses. Additionally, China is actively seeking to diversify its trade relationships, particularly with countries in Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America. This strategy aims to cushion the blow from reduced trade with the United States, while positioning China as a leader in emerging markets. The ongoing trade dispute between the United States and China carries significant risks for the global economy. Perhaps the most worrying scenario is that of a prolonged trade war, with both sides doubling down on protectionist measures. This could lead to a spiral of retaliation, further disrupting global trade, depressing economic growth, and fueling inflation. Such a scenario would have far-reaching consequences, potentially pushing the global economy into a recession. Moreover, the trade war risks fragmenting the global trading system. As the United States and China retreat from multilateralism and embrace protectionism, other countries may feel compelled to choose sides, leading to a bipolar world order. This could undermine the rules-based trading system that has underpinned global prosperity for decades. The trade war also has the potential to spill over into other areas of U.S.-China relations, exacerbating tensions over Taiwan, the South China Sea, and technological competition.